you have both worked in film and television. What is the difference between one area and the other?
Well, from my part, I think the thing is with a movie, obviously, it's a lot quicker, right? In terms of like the start to finish, in terms of making a story. So it's usually more intense compared to a TV show. Certainly in my experience, where you span it out over like 10 episodes, they're like lots of little movies almost, really. Whereas you have to condense it all into one intense story. And I enjoy both equally. I really enjoy making movies. I think there's something about immersing yourself in that world for that one period. And I suppose that's what's interesting about sequels and stuff, is like returning to that world again. It starts to feel a bit more like modern TV now, because modern TV, the quality of them does feel like movies, a lot of the time. So the crossover is actually becoming less and less now. The way that TV is being made, it feels more like movies. So there's less of a difference now.
Yeah, it's sort of like movies have gone. They're both talking to each other, like. With the Avengers films, you could say that's like a bunch. It's like almost like a TV show of movies.
Yeah. You do the box set. Yeah, exactly. You do the box set of the movies.
And then TV shows are like, maybe we don't have to do 24 episodes. Maybe only do like 12 episodes. I'm like, well, that's just like 12 mini movies. So like, it's all sort of becoming the same thing.
Yeah.
Well,
the audience is dictating what they want to watch, and how they want to watch it.
Well, thank you. I would like to know now, how was working with Johan Roberts, director?
Amazing, lovely. I mean, a really great director. Such obviously a horror film guy with a horror film background, and which is a great thing to have on a film like this, Resident Evil film. And so I loved working with him and collaborating with him, and it was great.
Yeah, I second that. I mean, from the very first meeting I had with Johannes, you could see how clear it was that he was so passionate about bringing this gaming element and this horror element back to the movies, and really honoring what the fans have been missing, I think, but at the same time really grounding these characters, really making them relatable. And that's what excited me, and I loved his passion for it. And every step of the way, he was so collaborative. He was so willing to have every conversation, and I think we all fully trusted Johannes. We fully trusted him to sculpt this thing and guide us all as actors to where this needed to be. And it was great to work with the guy. He was brilliant.
Perfect. I want to know what is the main difference between this movie and the previous saga.
The horror film.
Yeah,
I think it's really it concentrates on scares, and it's faithful to the games. The games are the foundation of this film, specifically a combination of games 1 and 2, and because those two games are horror games, this is a horror movie.
Yeah.
And what is your personal relationship with the game?
I grew up playing the games. I grew up playing 4 and 2 and 3, and I played those games so many times, and so many and playing it now actually on VR, the Resident Evil 4 VR. It's great. So much fun.
Yeah.
The anxiety of having to load is terrifying.
And you, Tom?
Yeah. Likewise, I played the games as a kid, much more the earlier versions, and hadn't really revisited them again until much more recently, when the movie was in talk. So it was really interesting for me to go into that world again, having not played it since I was a kid. So but as a kid growing up, they were a huge part of my gaming upbringing, I suppose. So yeah, I had it was quite nostalgic for me to go back into that world, especially because we were doing it in the 90s. We're setting it in the 90s,